There we go. I'm slightly smaller now. Boop. Okay, so Project Flowerfall. Let's quickly explain this for the people that haven't seen it. They haven't seen it or they don't know what the fuck I'm doing. This is the new project I've been working on for a little bit. It started after Nether Void was completed. And this is what I've been working on just on and off pretty much since then. Everything else I've been doing, I've probably been doing like Dream SMP stuff. You might have seen me post some things on Twitter about it. But yeah, I've been kind of juggling Dream SMP and Hardcore a little bit. This is a new project that I've been spending a little bit more time on, however, because I had to drain the entire thing. So it's a bit of a callback to the Ocean Monument that I did in Season 2, where I drained the entire thing, made a big circle. It's actually the exact same width as the Ocean Monument drain from Season 2. And we called it Project Flowerfall for a number of reasons, which I'll get to in a second. So, the story behind this place is pretty much an ocean monument got yoinked by the Ender King. Now, you know how we were in Atlantis and I was like swimming around? There's a basement to that area that you've probably seen in the YouTube videos that has the Ender King just like sitting on a throne. He's dead as dicks. He's fucking gone, right? Sat there and he just rotted away. But if you look carefully around that area, I've placed down little islands and like things from the overworld, and it's essentially his treasure room that he just collected shit, right? It's where he would go to escape and just chill with stuff that he stole from other realms. One of those things was an ocean monument, and it's specifically this one. Now the ocean monument here, or rather the oceans in general, are overseen or like kind of ruled by the Ocean Overlord, which is another entity I've made up. And famously, I've said the Ocean Overlord was sleeping during the theft of this monument. Mans was just fucking sleeping. He's like, I see him as quite a lazy, like laid back person. He's like, he's one of the most laid back entities, I think, who doesn't really give a shit. Like, there was wars and shit happening, right? The Blaze Empress was like fucking fighting. Like, all the other entities were getting involved in the war, and he was just fucking chilling. Like, he had no idea, really. And they had no idea that his ocean monument had just been yoinked. Also, I just saw a pillager raid spawning. Great. And what this represents is the act of that monument being stolen, but then halted and repaired by another entity who I've not named yet. So, like, this, pretty much, right, is a giant portal that we've made out of glass, and there's multiple layers. So I think there's about 6 or 7 layers of glass, and each layer has a space in between it, right? So it's purple, space, like purple, air, magenta, air, and then like pink. And at the very, very bottom, we've got an entire floor of sea lanterns covered in black carpet. It's a bit fucking, it's a lot. But to get the effect that I wanted, it was necessary. So you can see it's kind of like fading down. And you can see the layers if we go up to the edge here. This is also like purple concrete, I think, as well. Might be magenta, I think it's purple concrete. Crying obsidian all the way around. We had to use that gold farm that I showed you to like get all this shit. At the like piglin barter a fuck ton. And if we go down, you can see all the different layers if I just like do this. Hold on. There we go. And underneath this, sea lanterns. So it gives off the light and makes it glow at night. And like kind of just boosts the fog effect ever so slightly. It's pretty cool. Pretty pog. I definitely think it was worth it. Really pretty. And of course we've done like different like pieces of prismarine sprinkled out throughout the build, and also amethyst crystals, which I'm going to add a lot more of. I need to farm more. They're really annoying to farm. You have to like stay in the location of the geodes and then like break them at certain times. So it's a very long process that's like super boring. So I'm probably not going to do that on stream. I've cleared them out on stream, but those areas that I've cleared out ready to farm. I'm just gonna have to like go back every now and again and just sit there. But that's pretty much the entire like bottom area of the portal. I've also replaced a shit ton of the original blocks of the Ocean Monument with all sorts of custom shit. Coral, of course. Boop, we do this, you can see everything's still in there, still alive. All the water inside the monument has kept alive all of the coral. And it's allowed us to do a lot of like interesting things. So you can see I've used like the warped wood, different bits of concrete, glass, different colored coral mixed in with concrete. It's definitely like one of my most ambitious builds in terms of like how many blocks to use and how many color variations I can sprinkle throughout it, right? There's also a little hardcore heart on the back here that we did. And there's a cool trick that you can do with coral fans as well, like these things. If you waterlog a half slab, it counts as a water block. So you place coral fans on it and they stay alive. So they don't have to be submerged. It's like over here I've done it as well. It's really pretty. It's a nice little detail that you can do. Just to give a little bit more of a pop.
I ran there.
Aww.
I'm tired.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just imagine me running with like the bread and the sprinkles like.
I'm trying to think of like, I'm trying to imagine people on the street seeing you running
like,
past them.
Going with
at 10:30. 10:30 in the morning. My husband has to have his fairy bread.
Yeah. They don't understand.
He can't function without his fairy bread.
Yeah. This is a fairy bread emergency. Oh, it's so funny.
It's so weird. So
just
weird.
Like jogging down. I like got a glimpse of what I look like in the mirror, you know, like in the windows. Holding the bread.
Aww. For
Make
chat.
it. I'm
For
excited.
chat. This is what she does for you guys. Alright, hold on. See if I can like...
I know I would want to see it.
I was just in the middle of explaining Project Flowerfall, but I'm pretty much done almost.
I hope editor Larry doesn't mind.
Editor Larry. Larry doesn't edit my videos. He would die. No, he's very pog and very talented, but Mans has to limit himself to how many people he edits for, otherwise he'll keel over. Yeah, that's Project Flowerfall. We also used blue fire because holy fuck, blue fire is awesome, dude. Look at that shit. Look at that shit, dude. Fuck yeah. And the last thing that I'm gonna do, which I'm working on right now, is making this entire area look extremely pretty and extremely full of life. Like it's gonna be flowers, giant trees. I'm gonna be using concrete, different colored concrete to make all of this happen. There will be multiple slime farms sprinkled throughout this area, so it's also going to have a double function. Apart from it looking pretty and being like a lore location of the world, we're going to have a slime farm or two sprinkled around so I can just get fuck tons of slime if I need it. So we already have marked out multiple chunks. There's a really good one there, which I think I'm going to use. There's a one at the back. There's one there where we've placed that concrete. We think there's one there, but I'm not 100% sure. There's also one somewhere there, but I think it's in an awkward location. I think it's like right in this corner. So realistically, the slime farm is probably going to go there. Let me sleep. So yeah, should look very pretty when we're done. And the last thing that I'm going to do, which will conclude part 1 of this area. I know, so I'm going to explain this real quick. When I say part 1, it's because I have more plans for all of these builds I do. I just have to stop them at some point and move on to something else. Otherwise, I will never stop working on it. All right? So there's a part 2 to Atlantis. There's a part 2 to Nether Void. And there's a part 2 to this. And eventually, we'll come full circle. All right? I'll get to a point where I've done a few projects I'm really proud of. And we'll come full circle and start doing the part 2 of all the projects we've done previously. So part 2 of Atlantis would start. Part 2 of Nether Void would start. All that stuff. I've talked about some of these plans already. Part 2 of Atlantis involves adding planets and different biomes floating in the sky, kind of like a solar system. Part 2 of Nether Void is adding windows in the walls to different biomes or different fake biomes of the new Nether. So we can see the new Nether even though we're in an old nether location, even though it's in the nether wastes. All right, so I'm gonna make some fairy bread.